instructions to Oscar and Pat Burns talking to Hector Camacho. This is round 3. Oscar in the gold. The gold one. Oscar's lethal with either hand. He goes with the right hand lead, misses the uppercut that time. Still more punches being landed by Oscar De La Hoya. You know, the Macho Man works all the time because he's moving all the time, but like Pat told him, he's going to start landing some shots, and it's tough. You know, we saw Pernell Whitaker a couple of fights ago, Dave, when he was able to, you know, bend down at the knees, but, you know, Camacho can do that sometimes. That's a very tough skill to be able to pull off against a guy who can really hit you down with a solid right hand.
De La Hoya teeing off again with a huge left hook, and Hoya has been on the march from the beginning. Good uppercut, even as he's being held behind the head. Look at the power generated through here, through the hips, and then the turn. Now the left hook missed, but he just finds himself in a position where the other guy's got more muscle than he does, and he's in trouble.
That's one of the best combinations of the fight by Oscar. Hurt him to the body. He started with it upstairs and then hurt him to the body. And now is Camacho in a bit of trouble here. Trying to land one big right hand power shot now.
And De La Hoya senses something. He is right on him.
He's a little impatient, though. I know Manny would tell him to go back to the jab, work your way in, and then let it fly. But yeah, when you see, and you're a fighter, and you see you got a guy back on his heels, but this guy is so slick. You know, you've got to really set him up to drop it.
Much easier said than done from the corner. And the speed of the fight, and you sense an opportunity, and you're instinctively a warrior, and you have to balance that with the knowledge of a great trainer.
Yeah, it's like late in fights when, you know, different corners will tell their fighter to cruise on the way ahead. It's not the nature of a fighter. Look at this. I mean, De La Hoya's probably won every round in the fight, and he just keeps coming forward, and Richard has to warn Camacho about hanging on.
He hurt him again with that left hook, and he's getting closer and hurting him more with these punches.
Yeah, and also his jab has turned into kind of a jab hook, and just like that one there, and he's catching Camacho a lot, which is banging that head around quite a bit. You wonder how much of this he can take, but Camacho is very, very tough to knock out and stop. He's only lost 3 fights, and all those went the distance.
De La Hoya has done a disciplined job in this fight of cutting off the ring and getting himself into prime punching position. He's put Camacho in the corner, loaded up with the big shots.
As I watch him in the last few fights we've done, Dave, this kid's just getting better and better and better. And he's such a likable fellow, is Oscar.
He brings all kinds of people to the fights.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, he's from East Los Angeles, but they come over here for the weekends to Las Vegas, and they love it. The bell ends the 6th round. We're at the halfway point, and I haven't given a round to...
And Dad likes it.
I haven't given a round to Camacho yet.
De La Hoya magic. There's the uppercut as he came in. Emmanuel Stewart telling him Camacho's backing straight up, and you see an example of it here, which is disaster for a fighter. Then he comes in, good power coming through the hips. Look at the leverage of De La Hoya. The right uppercut leads into more shots. The hook. See how he do it repeatedly and give the guy the same look all the time. He'll react to it, he'll adjust.
Well, Oscar, if you notice, gets squared up a little bit to throw his right hand, but see right now he's a little square. Now he jabs, and now you expect, well, I was expecting the right hand behind that, but he has to chase this guy down so much.
Yeah, he does. He gives you a quick shift back.
His right foot was back. Uppercut on the inside, but he can hit with either hand, and I'm afraid for Hector Camacho is beginning to feel it here in the 7th round. But in reality, professional fighters with these long, striated muscles, Oscar De La Hoya has almost a perfect body. Boy, he's making
Camacho to go into another level, but his face shows you the fatigue and the exasperation of running into stuff like this. There's the hook from De La Hoya.
Tough as nails. Big shots by Oscar.
And he moved into them. uppercut, then the hook. Didn't even have to reset for each shot because the natural body flow took him into these shots.
He learned that fight. I mean, he's just really dominating this fight now.